working committee of the party, while still getting some perspective as to how the disaffections in the Rivers State can be permanently resolved. A lot of Rivers citizens cannot wait to see the conversation in the state finally move from political rift to governance. Is this possible with the current state of things in the state? We'll seek some answers to this and more right after this break. Please do stay with us.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Prince Aita. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmer.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Nanradi Dura, I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokime.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba.
It's TV season.
I'm Stems.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and papas, I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sobiku Vala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would use a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial.
Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV.
I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
They're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Hey, Bobby.
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN. Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Many thanks for staying tuned on Niger Delta today. Of course, we're still tracking developments in Rivers State. Well, the acting national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Omar Damagum, has postponed the party's National Working Committee NWC meeting until next week due to increasing tension between former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike and the PDP Governors Forum regarding the status of Rivers State Party Congresses. So, amid the lingering political crisis between Wike and the Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, the PDP governors had taken sides with Fubara, insisting that the governor should be recognized as the leader of the PDP in Rivers State. You'll recall this declaration by the governors did not go down well with former Governor Wike, who got infuriated and made damning remarks warning them to stay out of Rivers matter, or he would, in his words, put fire in their state. Well, the back and forth continued as the PDP Governors Forum, also reacting, slammed Wike and describing his threat as irresponsible and empty. And they are of the view that Wike should allow his now estranged godson and successor to enjoy the privileges of leader of the PDP in Rivers, as Wike, had enjoyed same during his two-term tenure as governor of the state. Well, the PDP governors are demanding that the ward and local government congresses conducted in Rivers State, which gave the party structure to Wike, should be annulled and fresh ones conducted. And the PDP NWC meeting, which was expected to hold yesterday, Wednesday, would have provided an opportunity to further address the disagreements between Wike and the governors did not hold. However, it has been agreed that it will hold next week. But then there's been a lot of back and forth in Rivers' journey, and latest being the postponement of this NWC meeting that they were supposed to have. Of course, the reasons are not far-fetched. We've seen the scenario in politics in Rivers State and the back and forth between the former governor Wike and Fubara, and a lot of concerns have also been raised as regards when would all these political wranglings come to an end, and then we begin to see real governance, which is of course what the Rivers people are really clamoring for at this time.
Well, we've always seen politics, should I say, after elections in each state, maybe come with some legal matters, and maybe after a while everything die off. But Rivers seems to have a different turn of events this time around, because for a number of months it's been from one issue to another. We're not talking about factional speakers, we're talking about factional party leaders, we're talking about riots in and out, and it's becoming very concerning for the people, because we should be talking about development. We should be focusing more on how to advance the state, on how to advance livelihood of the people. But here we are, always looking at the rifts between the former governor and the sitting governor. And these issues are things that should have been addressed party-wise, but yet we're seeing the party taking some form of arrangement, sort of one side on another and the other with another side. Well, we really do hope we can address this issue, as we'll try to establish connection with a political analyst and a public affairs commentator. I'm talking about Dr. Tom Fredfish. But while we try to do that, we'll take a break and we'll be back shortly.
1 hour of your daily dose of news from around the world. Whether it's a diplomatic breakthrough, a humanitarian crisis, or a scientific discovery, Global Digest gives you a deeper understanding of the world around you. Join me, Amma Marcus. Let's stay ahead of the curve with conversations that are shaping our planet at 11 a.m. on DSTV, channel 258, and on Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Many thanks for staying tuned on Niger Delta today. Just before that short break, we had commenced conversations surrounding Rivers politics and the recent developments in the state. And we were just about being joined by Dr. Fred Fish, who is, of course, a political analyst who joins us currently to discuss some of the developments in Rivers State. Dr. Fred Fish, you're welcome on Niger Delta today.
Thank you very much. Good to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much for joining us. Well, with the recent development in Rivers State, we just want to understand, what does this mean for the party as a whole, especially as a number of parties has begun preparations for the 2027 elections?
Well, the developments for now only portends one thing: good news for the people of Rivers State, whose governor has already found his feet in the governance of Rivers State. Before now, we had some impediments where this godfatherism factor was hindering him from taking charge as the executive governor of Rivers State. It was being aimed at by the fact that the mandate given to him by the people was not freely exercised. So it's a sharing news, and I don't think there is any issue that can hinder or portend. It only brings about challenges, and every political scenario or setting, there are always challenges to be met and to be overcome. But for now, what I think the governor have decided to focus on is to fulfill the mandate that the people of Rivers State gave to him, and developing and enhancing their welfare and their standard of life for now. So I don't think politics that is happening, the distraction, the crisis, is just some of the side attractions that comes with politics.
Okay. Well, just as a follow-up, do you think he's really in charge of the party situation in the state, and as well as in charge of affairs of the state so far?
Yes, that's two questions. Number one, he's in charge of the affairs of the state. Number two, he's not totally in charge of the party for now. And that is why recently the Minister for FCT had come to talk about structure and party, because the PDP, through the instrumentality of the group he belongs, the PDP Governors Forum, have decided to give him all the right and privileges to take charge of the party, which every governor of the state does. They're in charge of the party as the leader of the party. And that is why that decision of the Governors Forum is not well acceptable by some persons who have come out to reject and say, no, we will not accept that. So the governor is in charge of the state, fully in charge, 100% in charge. But for the party, for now, he's not fully in charge.
Well, Dr. Tom Fredfish, you're a political analyst and social commentator. If you say that the governor is in charge of the state currently, what would you say with the current in-house fighting between the executive arm of government and the legislature in Rivers State? You would understand that over 6 times the House of Assembly in Rivers State, led by Martins Amewole, has vetoed the governor's authority about 6 times or thereabout. So it is clear that they are not working in harmony. To what extent has this affected the task of governance in Rivers State?
What's just highlighted now is just a conflict. I'll give you this instance. In a family, in a house, the man is always in charge. And when maybe two brothers or a brother said to have an issue with his sister, doesn't mean the father is not in charge of the family. It is something that will be settled. For instance, now the governor has continued his governance. The issue of the former 25 members and the speaker is something that is in courts for them to decide. But it's just a conflict. Conflict happens in any political settings. Even some of the states that do not have this such crisis, they have conflicts. Somebody can wake up to claim anything. If people that have defected before to another party, the APC, decide to come back illegally and claim to be in their position, it's for the court to decide. That does not mean that the man at the rim of affair is not in charge.
What do you see playing out in Rivers State? Let's say the court ruling doesn't go in favor of Fubar.
I didn't hear that.
What do you see playing out in Rivers State? Peradventure, whatever is happening within the judiciary doesn't go in favor of the current governor, Siminalayi Fubar.
Because the judiciary is the last hope of the common man. Everybody runs to the judiciary. If the governor feels his right, his privilege is being infringed, if he feels that certain things are not done the right way, he doesn't have that power, to take such actions. The right place that will interpret and to give succumb to whatever he desires is the judiciary. So most often, which means he's on the right side of the history or the record, and that's why he keeps on getting favorable outcome from the judiciary, because everybody goes to the judiciary. Even the president has gone to the judiciary.
But Dr. Fredfish,
that the local government funds should be separated from the state fund, he went to the judiciary. So it's a normal thing for any democratic person with all the democratic rights to run to. And usually we always find reason to believe that those cases will be resolved. So I don't think he will stop.
Which also resulted in him being summoned by the disciplinary wing of the PDP. What do you make of that whole scenario there?
We are all aware of who the FCT minister is and how he talks. It's just a mere speech. And I'm very, very glad that he is not taken serious. And the Governors Forum, through their spokesperson, has issued a statement calling on the police to take note of those threats Even though I don't see those things as threats, I just see those things as him trying to titillate his supporters. You know, it was the gathering of his supporters where he wants to claim as being the leader of the party or still holding the PDP in Rivers State. So in such situations, the FCT minister can say anything to make these people happy and to make them feel that yes, he's in charge. So it's just a mere claim. How can somebody say that it's going to put fire in 36 states of the PDP or the PDP or put fire in their states? Is it possible? Does he control all the EXCO? He doesn't have those powers. I don't think it's something he can do. I had made a statement in one of this media forum that the FCT minister is used to saying A and doing B. And nobody takes him serious again. This is a man that has various times said he can never work with APC, that APC is cancer and the rest is a deadly party. But today he's serving under that party. And you want to take him serious? He shouldn't be taken serious. And what I feel led to the Governor's Forum making a statement and intimating the police about his statement was because his followers might decide to, to cash in on that statement and cause havoc. So the security agency needs to be alert. But for FCC telling Nigerians that he's going to put fire in the governor's, what type of fire? Is he using lighter or matches? Or is going to use
but he's still in the People's Democratic Party. He's still in the People's Democratic Party. In fact, he made that statement during the PDP's Congress. And he categorically stated that no one is taking the PDP away from him, the structure of the PDP away from Rivers as well. So you mentioning APC, I just had to make that clear to you.
That's what I'm saying. In a statement he had made before his appointment, he had categorically stated that he cannot have any business to do with APC. He has had, if you have been listening to the media, he has had conflicting statements about himself, which makes him, when somebody has statements that he said A and tomorrow he said B, start questioning his integrity. There is none. Now, if he's saying the PD Congress, who is still assumed power, don't forget, I said earlier on that the governor is not totally in charge of the PDP. But it is because the party is making attempts and efforts to ensure that it takes total charge of the PDP. That was what resulted in Wiki's outburst. Now, his outburst is a result of fear that he might not control that power, because I see no reason why he's no more a governor. He still wants to control the affairs of the PDP in the state. He was the leader of the party as a governor, and he's no more the governor. So I don't think he's a leader. So when he's fighting, he tends to come out with threats to ensure that, to see that people are scared. He's an anarchist. Somebody is trying to cause commotion, chaos. He shouldn't be saying that. From the exalted position of the federal minister of Nigeria, he should be speaking from the point of a statesman and not stoking violence and fear and eating up the polity. The president has always advocated for peace, Nigerian stability, and that Nigerian stability is not negotiable. So a minister going to say he wants to set up fire and cause chaos in the country at a time we have insecurity, at a time the bandits are ravaging most states of the federation, it is very, very wrong, and he has no power. And I'm saying it for the often time that the minister for FCT did not mean what he said. He was just saying it to titillate some of the supporters that were at that Congress.
Okay, Dr. Fredfish, as we begin to wind down this conversation, I just want to pick your thoughts as regards what should be the way forward in Rivers State right now. The political crisis has lingered on for too long. What would you suggest would be the way forward to restore?
The PDP should call the FCT minister to order, and there are various ways. He has committed anti-party activities. He has been insubordinate to the party. He has ridiculed the party at the national level and the state level. He should be called to order, and they should start initiating some process of reprimand, even not suspension. He should be called to order or be made to face the law. Is not bigger than the law.
All right.
It's not bigger than the party.
All right, Dr. Fredfish, thank you very much for your time on Niger Delta today.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, Jenny, it's a lot of to take in right there from Dr. Fredfish as regards Rivers politics. But then a lot of comments have also come in as regards to the comments of the Rivers State, former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, especially saying he was going to put fire. A lot of people are saying that was saying too much. I mean, but then, what would you blame the man? He had a lot of people cheering him on that fateful day.
Well, you know, sometimes we make some statement maybe in the spur of the moment, and well, like he said, perhaps he didn't mean that in that light, and maybe it was taken too far.
Absolutely, and then political comments like that will always be blown out of proportion. Maybe he just said it. Well, who knows? I don't know. Do you know, Jenny?
No, I don't. Well, let's look at some other issues, though. And this one, the Joel Youth Council, IYC Worldwide, has advised the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Mr. Heineken Lokbobiri, to shelve his governorship ambition and concentrate in discharging his ministerial responsibilities to actualize the benefits of the renewed hope agenda in the subsector. The IYC said it discovered that Minister Lokbobiri was allegedly more interested in gathering support for his ambition to be governor of Bayelsa State than dispassionately discharging the functions of his office. Well, the IYC the statement was signed by Meboye Nangi Ubu, the IYC Secretary General, Comrade Miracle Iyaye, National Women Leader, Tomun Toye David, National Legal Advisor, and Comrade Abiye Bob Manuel, National Deputy Director of Mobilization. Well, we'll get to talk about this issue and expand the conversation as we'll also link up with the Secretary General of the IYC Worldwide. I'm talking about Comrade Moboye Nangi Ubu. Well, while we try to establish connection, we'll take a break now, and when we return, we'll continue the conversation.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager and the bank executive, they are the one the government should first pay.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends Itek. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmer.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Nanradi Dura, I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokime.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba.
It's TV season.
I'm Miss Thames.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas, I am Jimmy. You can call me the entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sadiq Kubala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial.
Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV.
I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
They're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Hey, Bobby.
Ah! It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Tuned to Niger Delta today, but just before that break, we were bringing you reports from the Joy Youth Council IYC worldwide that was advising the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Mr. Heineken Lopoberi, to focus on his task of discharging his activities as minister instead of focusing his ambition on governorship of Bayelsa State. And we were just about establishing connection with Comrade Moboye Nangi Obu, who is the Secretary General, the Joy Youth Council IYC. Mr. Obu, can you hear me? Welcome on Niger Delta today.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Good afternoon. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Well, from the release made public, now you had asked the minister to focus on his ministerial duties rather than try to garner support for his governorship plans. And I just want to understand, won't this be a good thing for Bayelsans?
Good thing as in what context, please?
Now, for everyone, he's gotten to a particular level and he may have seen other needs of the people and possibly would want to sort out those needs. Don't you think that should also be for the good of the Bayelsans?
For him to become governor of Bayelsa?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's his personal expedition. It has no value for the people of the Niger Delta, let alone having value for the people of Ijaw extraction, let alone having direct value for the good people of Bayelsa State. Anybody can conjure the idea of wanting to be governor, president, anything. So that's his personal expedition. So we're not here to bring down anybody. Our interest is not that he's not qualified or qualified. People that are eminently qualified are qualified. It's not about being certificated, so we're not talking about having degrees here and there and all of that. But in local parlance, people saying a mess smelled and they take no shit smell. We've seen this type of people, we don't see their mess and we don't understand how their shit will be. So this is what it is. If they're trying to counterfeit, I really don't know how to translate that in normal English. But I've just said, so would it have any direct effect on Bayelsans? Well, it's not for me to judge, not to judge. But like I said, he's at liberty to want to become governor of Bayelsa State or president of Nigeria.
Well, Mr. Obu, while trying to make your comments, you using that adage, I'm sure you didn't notice that you used some very unacceptable, a very unacceptable word actually on air. But I hope you don't do that again. Well,
No. Maybe I think it's the way you've programmed to understand. Sometimes there are two ways of listening. You listen to reply or you listen to understand. When I use the word shit, I talk about fecal matters. I talk about defecation. That's what I mean by shit smell and mess smell.
But it's still, you're not supposed to use that. It's actually not appropriate.
Fine, but it doesn't make it that.
Regardless of the context, regardless of where you're coming from, you're not supposed to use that on air. It's not acceptable, sir.
Hello, I understand the media is to tailor a conversation. The point is, I've said what I've said.
Okay, let's move on from that to something else, please. Let's go on, please, Mr. Obo.
Yeah, so we can move on, but you can't tailor the conversation the way you want it. We're having
okay, Mr. Obo.
Let's look at the interest of the IYC in the ministerial role of a minister, as well as his intent for governorship. What does the IYC stand to gain from this? Why the interest in it?
Okay, so basically the Ijaw Youth Council, it's a pressure group. Just to let us understand something first, Ijaw means truth and we stand for truth. Some people who are spin doctors, people who are political jobbers that takes advantage or undue advantage of processes, that tries to meet people to curry favor with every opportunity they find themselves, want to use this very opportunity or a lacuna that we've seen, and we're trying to stand in the gap for Nigerians and especially the Niger Delta. They want to use that to cash out, and people are actually cashing out from that ministry. And people whom the minister have refused to see because of what we've done, he started seeing them and giving them dollars currently. And he is not even interested in having dialogue with the people that he thinks are antagonistic to whatever he's doing in that office. But what is our interest? Reason means truth, and we stand for truth. And this is to let you understand that there's more to come for the president, against the president, from us, against even the military who knows nothing in that office and has turned that office like a cesspool for corruption. We understand what Sadi Lawal is doing, and we're also coming for Sadi Lawal. We're coming for a whole lot of them, but we want to start with our own because they say charity begins at home. So what's our interest? Very simple. Just yesterday, my small rickety car, I was able to buy fuel for 1,340 naira in this Nigeria. And I live in the region where the so-called oil is being, all the greenhouse gas emissions are happening, where the chlorofluorocarbons are killing us, and there's heavy ozone depletion of the environment. And we have refineries that our brother made an announcement sometime last year before 25th of December that Port Harcourt refinery will come on stream, and that by March, before March 31st of 2024, Warri refinery will come on stream. These are things that are dead to us as a people because it will give employment, whether you call it casual, you call it any kind of employment to our people. And this didn't happen, and we're talking, this is September already.
What would you say is the relationship like between the IYC itself and the president? Because reading through your statement, there was a part that you made comments about the fact that the Minister for State Petrol, Henneken Lopobiri, was sort of working hand in hand with the president of the IYC. What is the connect there? And to what extent would you say that Henneken Lopobiri has deviated from his task as minister?
Okay, so let me tell you simply, Henneken Lopobiri is using his younger brother, who happens to be our president, Jonathan Lopobiri, our president. He's the president of council, and we respect him so much, but using him to cause chaos, trouble, even in the Ijaw Youth Council, even at the level of the ESCO. As I speak with you currently, I don't want to use certain words, but the president is so petty that once you go against what he wants, when certain things are supposed to get to the ESCO, himself and his brother would tell you not for it to get to the ESCO. Currently, something like that is happening. And Nigeria, for Ijaw people and for Nigerians, and trying to see how the departments. Let me also tell you one of our anger. And this is the anger against the president of Nigeria, but also with Henneken Lopobiri. We're here, and the NNPC sacked one of our own and replaced Elton, and he's a German, and he was CEO upstream of NNPC. He was sacked, forcefully sacked. He has the same tenure span with Mele Kyari. I'm giving you facts and figures. But this man was sacked and replaced by one Meyiwa, a lady, Shakiri. Now that happened. The next thing, still under Henneken Lopobiri, the NCDMB, which we call the Nigerian Content Board and Development Commission in Bayelsa State, our brother, who was executive secretary, Simbi Wabote, was sacked and replaced by another Shakiri. And these things, we're not going to go into too much details because this is TV. But I'm telling you that our brother have also not served the interests of the Ijaw nation.
So would you say that the IYC is in order, that they are bonded? When you're saying that your president is not doing what he's supposed to do as the president of the IYC?
Please, can you just give me a listen here, please? Now we have a president. First of all, as Ijaw people, let me also say this to you. We swore an oath to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, peace, and progress of the Ijaw people. That's the oath of allegiance that we swore the day we won election. As Secretary General, I took that oath. We have the second Ijaw governor in Nigeria, in Rivers State, an embattled governor, perhaps the most embattled governor, in Nigeria currently is Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State. We have a president of Ijaw Youth Council who is gallivanting, conniving with his brother, the minister, to cause chaos, joining those who are fanning the embers of war and trying to chop off the head of our brother and the leader and the governor of Rivers State. That is what the president of the Ijaw Youth Council joined his brother, the minister, to cause chaos for. The president of Nigeria is aware of this implication and all of their collusion, what they've been doing with the minister of FCT. This, our president, was quick and very quick to collect money. I don't want to mention because I know this, but I would say to go and protect our brother, yes, from the Niger Delta, from Akwa Ibom State, the Senate president, but could not protect the interest of somebody who wants to kill. Well, so listen, these things in law, they say,
let's just round up, please. Could you do that in 20 seconds, please? Thank you.
Probably are doing for Ijaw people and against Ijaw people in Nigeria.
All right, Mr. Obu, thank you very much for your thoughts. We'll try to establish connection too with your president, also see how we can get his own side of this information you're giving us today. Thank you for being a part of Niger Delta Today.
All right, thank you so much for being part. Well, from what he's saying, I guess this is a matter of interest here, because he's talking about the interest of Ijaw people, he's talking about the interest of the minister himself, and everyone has an interest
of
here.
course, so that's why it's also important that we'll try to establish connection with the president of IYC to also get to ascertain his own stance in the whole rift. But then we would move on to other matters right now, as of course we'll be bringing you up to speed with developments in Akwa Ibom State. Well, just recently some really sad news came into Akwa Ibom after we lost the CP of Akwa Ibom State. Journalists also seem to have lost their lives. We have really sad news from journalists in Akwa Ibom State as the state governor, Pastor Umoino, expressed shock on the sudden demise of two members of the state's council, the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ. These two comrades, Patience John and Esther Ukbe, who until they passed on were key members of the state's chapter of the National Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ, and also members of the State House Assembly Press Corps. We gathered reports that Ms. John, an employee of the state-owned Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, AKBC, died on the way to hospital over an undisclosed ailment, while Ukbe of the Federated Chapel slumped and later died at the police hospital at Ikot Akpanabia near Uyo over reported cardiac arrest. But speaking through his chief press secretary, Mr. Ekerita Udo, the governor described the passage of the two journalists as a huge loss to the journalism profession in the state and prayed for God to console the bereaved families. Well, meanwhile, the governor has reassured the media community that his administration will continue to identify with the media professionals, noting that they are an integral part of his plans and policies, which are geared towards leaving a lasting legacy of development in the state. Well, let's just bring you up to speed with this other report. This comes after a public hearing held yesterday at the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly regarding a bill aimed at prohibiting stigmatization of people living with HIV/AIDS and regulating the practice of counseling for affected individuals. And this played out at the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly and also saw a pledge by the House to prioritize individuals living with HIV/AIDS in the state through the implementation of the anti-stigma bill. Well, to join us in the conversation this afternoon and help make sense of some of these developments, we have an organization development consultant, Marvel ACN, joining us live in our Niger Delta studios today. Mr. Marvel, you're welcome on Niger Delta Today.
Good afternoon. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
The show. Well, let's begin with the sad incident that took place in the States where we've lost two journalists, and prior to that was the CP of the state. So, how do you feel with that?
The last few days has been very sad, so many deaths, too many deaths, that we lost the Commissioner of Police and later two journalists, and all of them going by the way of sudden deaths. I commend the governor for identifying with all the sections, the security systems in Akwa Ibom State and the Nigeria Union of Journalists Akwa Ibom State chapter over these demise of these candidates or these individuals. It's quite sad. May their souls rest in peace. But you see, another side we could also be looking at is how we operate our system in terms of when things like this happen. How we could guard against reoccurrence. Some may be flying around about these dates, but we should also consider making post-mortem, the coroner's report, as a part of our system, in a manner that when things like this happen, we should investigate.
We should just sweep it under the carpet.
And feel that it's an act of
it has happened, yes.
We shouldn't just be taking it that way. We should pay particular attention to these things, and we should educate our people. It could be from any cause, any reason, but then scientifically there are ways of investigating this matter, and we should take it very serious to be investigating matters like this.
Well, that also takes us to matters of health concern for journalists as well, and even in security agencies. Do we really pay attention to health concerns for security officials and journalists? We have the health insurance scheme. A number of times we mostly get to talk about the aged people, we look at children, we look at pregnant women. Do we look at some specific areas, career and field? Journalism, security, these people are always in the field. These people are always out there. Do we really pay attention?
Taking on the security system in Akwa Ibom State, because that has just happened, affected the security system and the journalists. We should just look at it generally as the workplace issues, and people going to the workplace, even people sitting in the office too long in the office may be having some kind of health challenges resulting from their work. Even people think that it should be collective in a manner that you know what to do, you let others know how to take care of their health, and make others know how to plan out their time in a manner that they can be exposed to exercises, to fact of common things like drinking water and so on. This health education is very important.
All right, Mr. Marvel, as we race to preserve some time, we'll move straight to the other issue that we talked about earlier, the issue of stigmatization of people living with HIV/AIDS. This has been it's a global phenomenon. I mean, but then we've not really heard much about it. But then yesterday, the House of Assembly Committee had that public hearing on stigmatization against people living with HIV/AIDS. To what extent have we been able to ensure that that is not a factor, a negative factor, so to say, in the state, maybe Nigeria at large?
Yeah, the issue of stigmatization, you know, when I heard that news yesterday also, it baffled me that it came up again. You know, sometimes
in 2021 the bill was passed.
It was passed.
In fact, the current Speaker of the House at the time was Chairman Committee on Health, and the bill was passed in 2021, but it wasn't signed into law.
Yes.
Now it is starting afresh.
Yeah, it wasn't signed into law. There must have been a reason why it wasn't signed into law.
Exactly.
So we should have had a report from the then governor to know why didn't he sign it into law. And maybe this would have corrected them, because in my own opinion, you are talking about stigmatization and you are practicing stigmatization in the public hearing that they had yesterday. Let me tell you this. You see, stigmatization, you know, you look at it as at the negative side, you look at the situation and you stigmatize individuals on it. But the resultant effect is discrimination. So if you pick out anti-HIV bill, how about anti-racial, anti-gender issues, people with disability. All those classes of people suffer a certain level of stigmatization. So if you are going to address it, why not address it holistically?
But that takes us to the VAP law. The VAP law looks into issues of gender discrimination, issues of that nature.
You treat them one by one, including women in politics, doing this and that. But you see, I think the whole matter rests on education, educating the people, because if you don't have a kind of education in the system that will also be impacting on our cultural values, then you're just making laws. I think we are being influenced so much by this militarized mentality that we came from due to long period of military system, that we just think things are changed by the laws we make. So the civilians now come, they are also practicing that you bring up things that ordinarily you should have addressed them through other modes. But here you are bringing out laws. Somebody asked yesterday, what punishment would be given to somebody that does not comply with this law? If it's not, I didn't get anything out from there, whether there will be a punishment for it or no punishment for it. But even if there is a punishment, is it going to serve as a deterrent, or is it going to serve as a compensation?
Well, let's just take a moment and have a view of what transpired at the public hearing yesterday.
Call for the enactment of anti-stigma bill in Akwa Ibom State has been heightened, with stakeholders debating on its importance as part of efforts to eliminate discrimination against persons living with HIV and AIDS. This comes after a public hearing held on Wednesday at the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly regarding a bill aimed at prohibiting stigmatization of people living with HIV and AIDS and regulating the practice of counseling for affected individuals. Convener of the public hearing and Chairman, House Committee on Health, Honorable Moses Essien, while delivering his opening remarks, said the public hearing will grant relevant stakeholders an opportunity to relate to the bill and proffer solutions where necessary.
Before you is therefore to provide a legal document for the protection of those living with HIV/AIDS. The bill will also provide legal framework for HIV/AIDS counseling, testing.
Well, for some time now, the Okwama community in Delta State has enjoyed some calm as regards the incidents in March where 17 soldiers were said to have lost their lives who were in the community for a special operation. But then some arrests were made, as we gathered, and then just yesterday we received news that two persons, indigents from Okwama community, had demanded 200 million naira in compensation for being for their human right being infringed upon. And right here, Mr. Essien, I mean, this for some time now we've not really heard much from that axis. But then this coming out, it also re-echoes the issue of human rights abuses in Nigeria. We remember how a lot of conversation had gone over this issue. What do you make of this? It's a 200 million lawsuit against the DSS and the military.
It's a good thing for people to seek justice in any way they can find justice, because it would help our society to a large extent. You remember this happened in OD many years ago, I think 1999 or so, and they went to court. The community went to court and they won, because they were awarded, is it 37 billion or thereabouts? I think so far they have received about 15 billion or so, however they are distributing it. But the aspect of the winning the case and the competition is not even my issue. The issue I consider most is, how do we have this kind of mentality in Nigeria? How did we get to a situation where our own soldiers will be fighting same Nigerians? You know, the soldiers are Nigerians. This is a community in Nigeria, and you go to fight, and when you look at it in terms of the people, innocent people in those communities that were killed as a result of what happened, like in the OD story, it was said that most of those people that were residing there were miscreants who just resided in OD. Some of them were not even from OD. And when this issue happened, they made the community to suffer. Now, you look at Okwama today, and you think about it in terms of the economic strain that is occurring in that society. You think of the effect, the aftermath of this exercise that we're having today. You know, militancy increased so much after the OD incidents, and now you have this in Okwama. You are making people think that a way of resolving issues is to fight, is to raise arms, is to that armed struggle is an acceptable form of behavior if this is coming from a department of government like the military who felt that there are ways of carrying out, we should have a better grievance procedure